live. And as per tradition, everybody, first of all, peep that Yuletide background. I don't know what was going on today. Tom is dressed for the occasion. I need to get with the program here. We're going to go ahead and let it just warm on up, though, and I'm going to do my little share. And so, Tom, you are in the captain's seat.
Awesome. Well, what's up, dudes and dudettes? Major Butt Kicking's back in town. Comic Book Look is back. So, it's a minute to win it. This is a minute where I just kill a little bit of time, say hello to everybody who's joining us, not live. I'm sure you can just skip ahead a minute and jump right into it. But today I really don't got a big minute to win it. Nothing exciting really happened comic-wise for me lately, except for, reading comics, and they've all been really good. At least a lot of them have. So I am excited to talk about today's books, of course, New Comic Book Day. That's what we're here for. And I also got a package from Strangers, which is like this the zine distributor for indie comics, like super indie comics. So I'm super excited to go over my new Strangers package as well with a bunch of cool comics. So
heck yeah, that's awesome, man.
Oh yeah, man.
All right. Well, good. Well, let's kick it off. We're up to a couple of views here. We got a like already. So holy smokes, you guys are prompt and on time today. Good for you.
We're moving.
Good for you. We're moving and shaking. We're moving it. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and boot it up. Hey, everybody. It's a comic book look. It's your boy, John on Demand, a.k.a. Chilled to the Bone today because of my Skeletor hat. I am not original, you guys. There was snow on the ground. I had frost on the windshield. It was an unfortunate situation. It's the tax we pay by living in South Dakota. And I'm surprised there weren't any Wendigo eating people on the outskirts of town.
I can't believe it. I saw like North Star and Puck in my distance, but it just turned out to be a silhouette of a tree and a little rock. But I thought for a second Alpha Flight was in town with all this snow. But sorry,
it's an honest mistake, But yeah, I mean, as the winter goes on, you guys, you'll start hearing the reports of packs of wolves and Yeti and everything else running around. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
It's crazy. So, man, we got a lot to talk about today. So,
yeah, John, you said that you had a lot to talk about. I was very intrigued about that. So let's hear it, man. What do you have to talk about?
So at the shop, John Jesperson is a longtime friend of our show as well as the shop, and he helped kind of facilitate a visit today. We had Garrett Gunn in the building today. So Garrett is a comic book writer who was involved with the recent project Good Boy.
Awesome.
So Good Boy is kind of a humorous take on what if it wasn't John Wick's dog that got shot, but rather the human, and then the dog's the one that goes out for vengeance, right? And it's amazing. So on my personal page, I posted a selfie that we took. I had a chance to interview him on the Rainbow page earlier today and learn more, which was a lot of fun. And it was just a really good time. He's just such a good human. And I got my book signed. You'll get a kick out of this. It says, "To John, the brightest rainbow of all."
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
It was like,
how cool that he came by the shop.
Yes. It was so cool. So yeah, really good guy. And I said, if you ever want to come on our show, we would love to have you. And so it was a lot of fun. And the project itself was a lot of fun. In addition to Good Boy, he kind of let Amanda and I kind of peruse the wares of what was at the show. So I got a couple of trades here. Go West was another project he was involved in. This one looks like it's right up my alley. The Fear Diaries. So I'm excited about that.
Fear Diaries. Yeah, I never heard of either of those. So I got some schooling to do here, John. I love it.
Warcorns, the combat unicorns for hire. Mega Smash, Way of the Dude Bro. And these are all done. Yep. And these are all done through Source Point.
Cool.
And then Franklin and Ghost.
Nice.
And then this was actually the first one that I asked him about because as I was thumbing through it, the style was just interesting. Postmasters. And he had a chance to sign that one. It was a lot of fun though. So just getting to interview him. I wasn't like, like in interview mode today. And then I was like, oh, he's coming by. This is awesome. And so it was really fun just to really put on my impromptu shoes. And it was funny because we did this thing where I was just talking and then he just slides into the next chair over. I'm like, oh my gosh, so just really good spirited guy. And that's my favorite thing is when creators truly are humans and they just want to have fun. And he was there. He had a buddy with him too. They're driving from Emerald City Comic Con to C2E2. So from like Seattle to Chicago. So they got in from leaving Rapid City. They stayed over in Rapid City and they stopped in with us and they're going all the way to Madison tonight. Gotcha. So likely still on the road, but man, that was just so cool. And they love the shop and we were just having so much fun with them. So it was really cool to get to meet him and get to know him. And the selfie is amazing. Tell me, you'll have to check it out on my page. It was pretty good. So.
Dude, yeah, I mean, what a cool opportunity. One more perk of your job, John. How cool is that?
Speaking of perks of the job, when you have coworkers such as Taylor saying, hi, nerds, and we say, hello, nerdettes. I don't know. Taylor, it's good to see you, though, man. Thanks for tuning in.
What's up, Taylor?
Shout out to Lincoln. Shout out to Rainbow Comics Lincoln.
And JJ's the man. Good thing he's, just doing good work, man.
Comic book Jesus, man. For real.
I love it.
Praise him.
Praise it.
Oh, my goodness gracious. But yeah, no, it was a really good time. So that's that. Up next, my friend Patrick actually stopped by saying, are you at work? I'm like, no, I feel bad. I always miss him on Tuesdays because sometimes I have Tuesdays off and that's his day to go to the shop. And he said, no problem. I'm going to stop by your house. So he hooks me up with a lenticular framed Venom.
Whoa.
So it's all 3D and kind of awesome. And I love my Venom. And so it just makes me so happy. So thank you to Patrick for awesome Christmas gifts. Speaking of awesome names here, JJ's Comic Art says, I heard my name, which is totally true. You sure did. Comic book Jesus.
Man, JJ, man.
Praise be. The excitement you have with the comic creator today is how I felt when Phil Hester was in our shop a couple of years ago. Yes, absolutely. Oh, Phil Hester is the man. So Taylor, Tom, and I had a chance to be on a panel with him. Let me say Phil was a great teammate because my team won. Yeah. So we defeated Tom in combat. It was awesome. I know, I'm just kidding. But no, it's so fun to get to connect with creators, So Taylor, to your point, it's fun to get to talk to people that are in the industry, and get to learn more about them as people and their journey along the way. Phil is literally the coolest dude. Facts
is right, man. We had so much fun with him. Thank you, Wednesday Comics, for hosting him.
Bill is weighing in, digging that issue of Star Comics, Misty behind Tom. Boom.
Of course.
That's awesome.
Those classics.
Hey, Bill, thanks for tuning in, man.
Yeah, that's a recent pull from a dollar bin, I think, that John let out. So, yeah, man, I love that one.
Boom. So, yeah, that's all my news. I love this book. I love being referred to as the brightest rainbow of all. I was like, that's perfect. I love that.
That's so perfect, dude. And awesome, man.
Yes.
And how cool that you gotta meet another creator.
Yes. Awesome. Well, what are we talking about tonight, Tom? This is a real mixed wall.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Let me check the date. New comic books. That's what we're talking about, John. And it was a mixed wall, but I think I found a bunch of stuff, and I knew when I was looking at it, there was a bunch of stuff that I was like, man, I would pick up a bunch of different stuff if it was like 10 years ago. And I know John is going to pick up some of this stuff. So I'm excited to see what you have picked up, and I'm excited as well. But before we get into what I picked up, I want to show I got a shipment this weekend, and I just want to go through it. So there's this online distributor for for indie comics that you really can't get through Diamond, and so it's a way for these smaller comic creators to get their name out there. And our boy Mark Wagner, this is where he sells his comic, and that's kind of what got me hooked onto these other guys. But I got some new comics in the mail from Strangers. So behind here, this is the logo for them, Strangers. They're really cool though. Check them out on Instagram. I'm just gonna blast through these quick. I got Acid Nun. This is an acid eating nun. Is there any more that I need to say? How amazing is this gonna be? I don't know. I have to have it. And then I have these ones that are from Decadence Comics. I showed you guys some other Decadence comics before, but they're these very, very plain graphic, no word stories with single lines, no shading, no anything else. But they're really, really cool. So I got Pilot 1400 and Neptune's Fungi. So I'm excited to see some fungi space age story with this one. These are some really hard sci-fi, and I think they really scratch that itch that I really like from in the past Prophet when Brandon Graham was on it and different things like that. So yes, I'm stoked for those. Then we got adults only. We got I think it's Crania or Crania. I don't know, but look at this cover, and I flipped through side. It's too much that I'm not even going to do it on camera, else we'll get pulled off of Facebook. Okay. It is in a comic book look, right up our alley, though, dude. Then the last book I got, which was published by Strangers, is Dear Mother and Other Stories. So this is a Strangers original publish book, and I think they even did a Kickstarter for this. I didn't do the Kickstarter, but I just got it with the regular drop. But I just want to do a big shout out to all these indie creators that maybe not most people haven't heard of. Thank you for making these books. Know that there's lots of fans out here that love you guys.
Dude, heck yeah, that's awesome. Well, good, man. It's always fun to get mail that's not bills and stupid spam mail. I want to buy your house. And yeah.
Exactly.
I get it. Exactly. Oh, man. Well, Bill also weighed in, appreciating Acid Nun. Love it.
Yeah, Bill, you know what, man? What is not to love about Acid Nun? You know what I mean? There's like some pictures of Satan on the back and a nun. And I love it.
And he also did weigh in a little bit here on Misty. Misty is Millie the model's niece. Have to love it.
You have to. Exactly. No, I didn't know that, Bill. I haven't read it yet either. It was just definitely a dollar store find when I was like, what is this? It looks like the kind of comic that I would love to read, Archie-esque. So, yeah. Cool.
Taylor weighing in, honestly, more than a little curious about Acid Nun.
I know, Taylor. Can anybody not be excited about this book? The Acid Nun is getting strangled by like a big python panther in the back. Who knows what's going on here?
I just, I'm living for the cover. I don't know.
Yeah, me too. Basically, me too. I haven't read it yet, and I am definitely living for that cover.
Can you let's reach out to the creator on that one? I kind of want to do an interview on that just because I'm really delighted about it.
Exactly. And if it's real good, I'm going to buy you a copy for sure.
Oh, please do, dude. That's amazing. James is checking in with us here from YouTube. Good evening, gentlemen. It's cutting off the comment, James. Sorry about that. Our program's being goofy. That's okay. James, thank you so much for checking in. Also, shout out to James. James had a chance to connect with Ken tonight. They are working together on the variants cover of our wedding program. So.
Exciting! Awesome, James.
So very, very good. Taylor wants a copy sent to her too, Tom.
You got it, Taylor.
All right. Well, we got books to hit. Classes in session tonight.
It's in
I don't know about you, but I have a strict rubric tonight.
Exactly. You know what that rubric is, right? Talk about those comics we picked up, boy. Right. What did you get first? I want to see you crack the lid off of them, Johnny boy.
Okay, so this was hard, Tom. Normally, when a Marvel comic has a lot of beautiful covers, I buy all of them, right? So this time, I settled on one because this is the season of being fiscally responsible, whatever.
Smart man.
And I was really drawn to this one. So I went with Inferno issue 3. Featuring Destiny. Her cloak has been turned into a lake complete with lily pads and lotus. And I find it very relaxing and a very unique use of space. So I really appreciated the styling on it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's beautiful concept. Whoever did that cover art, that's really cool.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. That's my first book.
Okay, sorry. I got to get in I was looking at James' comment here, and that's why I got distracted.
What is
because Ken is a delightful fella.
You better tie that knot tight. That's right. No, he's a good guy, James. He puts up with me. So he's definitely the better half. I'm like Oscar the Grouch. So, yeah.
Shout out to Ken, man. All right, I'm going to go with the odd size book that I picked up. Tales of Mother Goose. And then the Mother F Goose.
Oh
and the middle is clearly like Scarface, a goose head. So, Aftershock's been putting out these books that are just like a little bit bigger size. And I've been picking them up. Some of them have been really good. Some have been like whatever. So, but this one, it's too funny. And my favorite band right now is Goose. So then I was like, I have to see or read this. It's the mother of my favorite band, Goose. But, yeah.
Heck yeah. I heard a rumor that the Goose actually is not in the book at all.
No way. That's funny.
So, more to come on that. So, speaking of being fiscally responsible and limiting myself to one cover, this next instance is not that. This is DC Comics Batman. I don't know if we've heard of this series at all, anybody. Batman issue 118. This is the start of a new chapter, so Fear State has wrapped up. So I got the A cover because I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But I could not say no to that vintage branding cardstock style. And Bill would be so proud of me because I looked at this and I was like, I have had to, unbag and board these from whoever collection we buy and then rebag them. And that style is embedded in my brain, like this logo. And so I'm like, I have to get this.
And it's so funny that they did even the 90s thing of saying first collector's issue, except on this cover they put a question mark. I don't know if you noticed that. That's so funny though.
Oh yeah. A new collector's item issue. I hope it is.
No, I know, but in the 90s they used to put on them all, new collector's item,
Oh yeah.
And it was I feel like that's still a homage to that, where this one they're more like question mark. Is it gonna be? And I think that's just a really funny, fun joke of DC.
Circling back to yours, Tom, Pulp Fiction homage cover was so good for the Mother F Goose.
Nice. I'll have to check that one out too. That's awesome.
You are up.
With I was telling everybody at the shop today, this is one of my favorite books. I think this has not gotten enough praise. This is up there with the sci-fi kind of dark tale that maybe you would see in Terminator or Alien or I don't know. It's so well done. It's about an AI kid who shouldn't have been as smart as he was, shouldn't have gone to this certain place, and then did. I mean, and then the way it's written is so well. I don't know. I absolutely love this. Made in Korea. It's totally something everybody should be checking out. This is where it all wraps up. So the graphic novel will be out soon. And I would say this is a perfect book to do a graphic novel of. I have to assume this will be a TV show or a movie at some point because it is set up so perfectly, the story pacing for a miniseries or a movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely get it. Jeremy Holt, goddamn dude, you do great work.
That's awesome. Got a comment slipping through here. Chantel is hitting us with a lot of hearts and the high five hands and some fire. So that's awesome. I think what she's saying is that what we're doing is warming her soul this evening, talking comics. So Chantel is my coworker from the distillery. So thank you, Chantel, for tuning in and checking us out this evening.
That's sick.
Up next, we got The Death of Doctor Strange. This is the Blade one-shot. I went with the A cover. Did I go with just the A cover? I think I did, yeah. If there's another one in here, I'm going to die because I only wanted one. Anyways, yeah. Yep, looks like I did. So, I haven't read a lot of Death of Doctor Strange yet, so I'm still catching up on things, as we've seen in the Facebook group, and I've been reading new and old and everything in between. I have gotten one of my 4 mountains down. Except I need to go file all of that now. So it's sitting over here in my chair, just completely overflowing. So it all needs to be alphabetized, yada, yada. But,
I picked it up, John. I don't know anything about The Death of Doctor Strange. I picked up the same cover as you.
Okay. Wow.
But it's mostly just because I'm a Blade fanboy. I was literally going to grab that second cover because it was a little more colorful.
Right.
But then this one just looked so dark and demonic, and I love these guys.
Blade.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I got to take this one up. And am I going to read anything else about the death of Doctor Strange? No, I'm not. But
you don't know that. You might.
Talking shit.
You might like it. I don't know.
I probably will.
Maybe.
Yeah. So but yes, I picked up that book too. Good call, John.
Heck yeah.
Here's a book that, who knows? I keep on saying I'm going to drop it, but here we are, issue 10, still picking it up. Every little issue just gives me something more that I'm like, I guess that Easter egg was enough. And I do like these characters coming in from other places, and I enjoy having all these cool creators work on this book. But basically, crossover is supposed to be of like every comic in the indie world into this kind of event type thing. And I've loved to hate it all the way through. So I'm still on board.
Dude, it's been so mixed. Chantel's following up here with just a wee bit obsessed with John, but he already knows, so back to comics. So Chantel's a great coworker, dude. Seriously. Oh, yeah. She's been so cool to work with and get to know. We're weekend warriors together.
Ooh, nice.
Also about being fiscally responsible, Fantastic Four Life Story issue number 5, the 2000s or the 00s. We have not one, but 2 Galactus covers, and you guys know how I feel about Galactus, and guess who else knows how I feel about Galactus? John at the store. So of course these were both in there, and I looked at them and I was like, I should really only get one, but then I'm like, they're both really freaking cool covers, and I've been enjoying the story, so I'm like, I can swing it. I'm gonna justify it in my mind.
And I did think I do like what I haven't read any of that, but I have to say that Fantastic. Can you hold that book up again? One of them, the Fantastic Four, like lettering logo of that. They went really minimal on it, and I just think it looks good. I think it looks crisp and clean, and it definitely makes me want to like read these stories where it says Fantastic Four Life Stories. So that's cool. And I am a big Fantastic Four guy, and as someone who's not reading a lot of Marvel right now, definitely missing Fantastic Four. So
Heck yeah, man.
All right, me. I'm up. What's the furthest place from here? This is number 2. This is a awesome book. I mean, I just caught up. I knew this was coming out, so I just caught up like this week, even though the first one came out 6 weeks ago or something like that. And I was like, oh, it looks really good. Kind of, flipped through the first one. I was like, I'll check this out. Finally read it. Dude, it's so good. It's a post-apocalyptic world where there are no adults, and these different neighborhoods are kind of controlled by gangs that are always warring. And it is just so interesting because there's no adults, and there's like this other element of where babies come from and adults get taken away. There's a certain level of unintelligence to every kid or every person in here because they don't have schooling, they don't have these outside influences, and then it makes it more like raw, and maybe they're not as dumb as you think, or whatever. And then they do real play where they show actual record covers, and they talk about like, oh, I like this record, or I like this record, and this music's better than this. Why would you define yourself with this? And it was so fun in all those different ways. So yeah, definitely really enjoyed that. Excited to get into this. One of the gangs, they all wear pig masks, so they look really funny. So it looks like we're gonna get into that gang here. Cool. Yeah, really, really good.
Awesome. Well, I have terrible news. I am really bummed to see Hellions, so one of my favorite offerings of the X-Men U. This is the final issue. So Hellions issue 18. I went with the Madeline Pride cover where she is just looking fierce and amazing. Havoc's in the background, like, oh my gosh, I have so many feels. But ultimately, I'm really bummed to see this book come to an end because it's like one of my favorites, just such a random group of characters that have no business, hanging out with each other in the first place. And it works. And it's so wonderful. So I don't know. I'm really excited about reading it. I'm sad to see it go. I trust we will see it just because, like the group again in one of these other X books, because there's like 2,000, going on.
Exactly. And the editors of the X-Men book know how to tie it all together. Yeah. And I know you've been talking about that book forever, so it's like, I feel like it's kind of like Hellions, Marauders, some of those other ones. Who knows how long those are going to last, but I know that you've been enjoying them. So it's really cool.
It's been fun. Taylor's checking in here, loving the font choice on What's the Furthest Place from Here. That title looks so good.
Yeah, I agree. Isn't that fun?
That's awesome.
And then they go with the here, which is the bubble letter. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then Chantel says, I would get it just for the Wicked cover. Oh my God. For the Hellions, I'm betting, which is amazing. It's very gorgeous. You are up.
I'm on to my last book.
Okay.
And it's okay if you have more. I can't wait to hear about them. But so, Sarge said, hey, John, there's only one scumbag left, right?
Yeah.
And or told John. So then I walked into the shop. John's like, hey, Tom, there's only one scumbag left. And we checked your list. You may not have bought it.
Mm.
Well, I picked it up. And then I got a John. Now I got 2 covers for number 11.
Okay.
So I picked up number 11. Or I picked up this one today, which was number 11. I'm behind, so I didn't know if I had read this one or not. And then I was like, oh, can I get it? Then I was so stoked to see that I just got 2 covers, so now I can keep them both. Okay. And notice I majorly bent the corner on this one. So okay. See, my corner is completely jacked. And so in turn, I was like, damn, now I got myself a nice prestigious copy of number 11. Maybe. And I mean, I got to say, guys, it just brings up the point of Scumbag is so good. I hope you guys are reading Scumbag. It is the story that nobody, could show their grandmother or their mom or like read it in public, but I love it.
So. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Well, from Boom Studios, we have Mighty Morphin, issue number 14. So this series continues to delight. I accidentally, so we have a customer who's very passionate about Power Rangers, like right up there with me, and I like totally, it was like, yeah, if this didn't happen last issue, and he's like, oh, I'm a couple behind, and I was like, I'm such a jerk. So worst cashier award goes to this guy right here. But in all seriousness, you guys, the Altarian, I have no idea how to pronounce that, but whatever society Zordon belongs to,
sure,
they are at war, and it turns out not all of them are nice people, which is kind of fun and kind of mind-blowing too, because when you think about Zordon, oh, he's good, he's the good guy, whatever. So it's very interesting.
Do the Rangers then like leave Earth to go fight this thing?
So there has actually been it's in 2 different stories right now. So 3 of the original Rangers are in outer space right now, doing completely other things, working with a very dark and alternate version of Tommy, Lord Draken. And then the rest of the Rangers are still on Earth, and there's a new Green Ranger, it's kind of like a Dollar Bin version, but it's not Tommy, it's somebody else. So it's very awesome and robust, but it's crazy to see, again, this siloed TV show for how many seasons, and all of a sudden they're like, we're going to make a universe out of this. We're going to sell comics, and they're doing a really good job. So I actually really
interesting. Like I like that as well. It's so funny. I love asking you questions about Power Rangers. I love seeing the covers of Power Rangers. I really haven't ever read any Power Rangers comics at all, but it's because you follow them, because they won that award for the cover, because I've always been impressed by all these different things. It's like, man, Power Rangers have such this corner of the comics. They have it. It's doing well. I don't know. It's a cool little niche to see. And it sounds like it's because they have good storylines. Like
it really has been a joy so far. So I've been loving it, and there's several customers that just love it too. James is bringing some wisdom here. There has been some kerfuffle. I can't pronounce that word. I love that word. Oh my gosh, that just makes me happy. Between Louis LaRosa and Rick Remender over Scumbag. Did you guys know about it?
No, I didn't. Please tell me, is Louis LaRosa, was he an artist on it? I'm sorry that I'm not knowing this, James, but I do want to say I've always thought right off the bat that it is a weird situation where it is an Image comic. It was a new #1 by Rick Remender and an artist, but the sole creator of the comic book is Rick Remender. The owner of the comic is Rick Remender, and he does not mention the artist as being a creator of the book or being part owner of the book, which is pretty uncommon. It's how Walking Dead was, in that it had the most biggest widespread kerfluffle of all time with a lawsuit between the guy saying that he wanted creator rights later. But yeah, so I want to know, James, if it has something to do with that, or if I'm just way out of it, because I have noticed that since the beginning, but I haven't heard anything. So I haven't been reading Bleeding Cool. Maybe I need to go check up some dirt on it. That's exciting.
Whew. Taylor's checking in on Power Rangers. It's such a wild story. I'm not reading it, but like everything I hear, it's just freaking wild.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like it. Speaking of freaking wild, X-Men Legends issue number 9. This cover is fantastic.
So sick.
Love this so much. It just makes me so happy. It's very colorful. You got Jubilee doing her thing, Lady Deathstrike, Omega Red. Straight 90s, man.
Yes, 1994, like 100 to the T, you know.
Love it. Another mutant milestone. I love that little punch they have on the top.
Yes, left. Exactly, man. They're bringing back those little collector things. You got 2 books with those little sayings that they used to rock in the 90s.
I can't say no. It's complicated,
John, but know that I wasn't picking up that Batman book, and I saw that little tag, and I was like, I might pick it up just for that because it's so funny they put a question mark at the end of it.
Also from the realm of Batman, the Arkham City, The Order of the World, issue number 3. I actually found this cover a little more exciting compared to the B cover. So I really just thought it was cool and creepy and ambient, I guess is a word. I don't know, but it makes me happy. And so I stared at both covers for about a minute and was like, I normally don't have this level of difficulty deciding, but
yeah, I think it's an homage to, Vertigo comics and Sandman comics and those Neil Gaiman comics of the 90s as well with that cover. So yeah, I thought that it stood out on the rack. I mean, I didn't pick it up, but I remember specifically, looking at the new comics and seeing that and be like, damn, dude, that just looks like it's a new issue of Sandman that was going to be coming out in 1989 or whatever,
Pick up.
So.
Another one that it's not new, but it's new to Rainbow because our vendor was very, 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 very late on this one. But Hulk number 1 is finally here. So for everyone that shops at Rainbow and you've been wanting your Hulk, it is in finally. Now, we got a series of random covers, and I loved this cover. I thought it was so funny and just passive, and I love that for a Hulk cover because a lot of them Hulk is very aggressive and raw. Here he's like literally grabbing stars and then loading them up in a bowl. So it was pretty fun. So
cool.
I was pretty excited about that. Got just a couple more here.
Hell yeah!
Star Wars Crimson Reign is starting. A lot of rain starting this week. So this will be kind of a different take on the Star Wars U. I am a little bit curious to see how it goes. When I think of Crimson Dawn, the criminal organization, it makes me think of Prince Zizzer from way back in the day in the Star Wars novels, most of which don't matter anymore.
Yeah, which are not in canon, even though they're in canon in both of our brains since we read them at.
So I'm just like, yeah, and there's tons of supporting action figures, but I digress. So looking forward to that. James is bringing some wisdom really quick here. Louis LaRosa is the artist on the first issue of the comic, and with the book being drawn by a different artist each issue, it seems Remender was claiming to be the sole creative force behind it, downplaying the artist inputs. I think there were some ownership issues involved too, but I'm not sure about that. Woo.
Boom. So I called it, man. I knew it was going to be like that. And dude, James, when I read that first issue and I saw that Rick put boldly created by Rick Remender, and then in the copyright 2021, Rick Remender, I was like, damn, dude. That usually means if that's going to be true, Rick needs to have sketches of what those characters looked like. So if we do have the scumbag and, Rick put together a sketch of a dude with sunglasses and a bandana and goatee, and he always wears this stupid leather vest and shit like that, then okay, maybe. But on the other hand, it's like, it's one of those things that Louis LaRosa knew that he wasn't going to be doing all the stories and still signed up for this. And because Rick Remender can throw around his name and say, dude, I'm Rick Remender, my book's going to sell, do the art for me. And that's that kind of shady shit we are still seeing in the comic industry, which is not good, fellas. You went you went to Image to not get fucked over, to not fuck over creators. That's the whole point. You know, if you want to get fucked over, Image or Marvel and DC will be happy to do that to your creators. Just look at, you know, Jack Kirby, or, you know, we could go on and on, you know, Bill Finger or whatever. So, you know, there's history of that. But Image was built around not doing that. So then it is very interesting, James, to see, oh, well, now we're coming full circle. It really truly is the big three.
Circling back here, I missed a couple from Chantel too. The X-Men looks like a good one. Can you imagine what a collectible it's going to be too? You know, I completely agree. I think it's a hilarious cover. I love it. I love the burst of color. Chantel's follow-up question, is it bad to judge a comic by its cover? Love these covers. It's never bad to judge a comic by the cover. However, one pro tip is don't expect the inside to look identical to the cover. When I first got going with comics, I was like, what is this? You know, with some of your issues, it's like, who threw up in my pages? Like, what's going on? What happened here? So yeah, it's kind of fun. I got 2 books left and then a little special something that I scooped up for myself. Ooh. Our friends at Vault, Lunar Room, issue number 1. I haven't actually dove into this too much. One of my customers at Rainbow pulled this up and gave me a quick synopsis on Google about it's like a veteran werewolf bounty hunter or something, or a bodyguard is like guarding a mage. And I'm like, it's Vault. I'm in.
I'll try it.
Yeah, I'll try it.
I know it. I feel like my pile that I need to get of new number 1s is still too big. So that is, I saw it and I had it and I just, even Johnny was in my pile for me. So it's like, you know, when the sensei speaks, you must listen. But this time I turned it down. So I'm really glad you're picking it up, John.
Yeah. And then, you know, I gotta support Matt Murdock. There's all this buzz going on right now with the MCU stuff. So Devil's Reign is kicking off. I went with the connecting variant, just because if I'm like, I dig the event, I'll get the other connecting variants, even though I never display them because I have no wall space. But that's a whole other story. But I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited about having both of them on the cover. I think that's a really cool cover. I have not read any of the Elektra as Daredevil situation. However, I do have the Halloween Comic Fest free one. That was a reprint of something around that, so I'm excited to read that. And then finally, I scooped up this little cutie for myself. This is the alternate cover to Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos from Dungeons and Dragons 5e. So this is the alternate cover. I love it. I think it's very sharp. I love D&D 5e books in general, but when we get the variant covers in it, I just am like, I'm here for it. I love the artwork. It's just something different, you know, because a lot of them kind of run together sometimes in terms of how they look. So it's nice to get something a little fresh once in a while.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Do you still have a game going right now that you've been playing?
I don't. So right now I'm not gaming, and I'm just kind of taking it easy, which is fine because my schedule was all over the place. It's a lot better now with like the 4-weekend thing and everything. So I love that.
Well, good. Yeah, I just wondering, you know, but yeah, man, that's super tight book.
Ooh, that's all I had though, Tom.
That's all I got too. You know, I do want to say in January, Mark Wagner told me that his new book is going to be coming out, so that's gonna be super stoked, man. We'll have to
get him on
that one.
Mark Wagner.
Yeah.
I just.
Oh yeah.
Let's call Mark. I got it right here. No, I love Mark. He's awesome. So, which I don't know that I saw him today. So, Mark, you're late class this week, and I don't appreciate it. So.
That's funny. Oh yeah, dude.
Well, any other nuggets of wisdom, Tom, or anything? Whoa!
Holy smokes!
Whoa,
Mark, what up, dog? We miss you, bro. I haven't seen you or heard from you. Man, great. Fat Stacks, baby. You know we're here for you.
We need Mark power on the show sometime too, man.
Mark, everybody should feel like, you know, on cloud 9. We got Mark to join us right now.
There you go.
Shout out, Mark.
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in, Mark. We're just about to wrap up, and it's good to see you, and we're gonna have to get you on again soon.
Yeah.
That's it though. So I guess we'll shut it down here. I'm gonna go have some spaghetti here in a hot second.
Shut it down.
Really excited. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are a comic book look, proudly sponsored by Rainbow Comics. If you're in the Sioux Falls area, come say howdy to us at 42nd in Minnesota. If you're in the Lincoln area, check out our new location. Tim and Taylor are there to help just rock it out with you. So they're at 70th and A at the Clock Tower Square area. And when I say that, it sounds like I live there and I don't, but I've been there and I hope that that's right. So Taylor, let me know if that's completely wrong.
Somewhere around there. Taylor will straighten you out.
Yeah, Taylor will definitely straighten me out. On the socials, I am @John on Demand. Tom is @Tom Stew Divine. We are collectively @A Comic Book Look. If you're checking us out on YouTube, definitely feel free to join our Facebook group, A Comic Book Look, to continue the conversation. We'd love to have you. But yep, until next time, you guys know the drill as always. We are going to keep warm here in the Midwest and ward off all the spirits and the Wendigo and the wolves and ogres and everything else. And we're going to keep it comics for sure, man. Boom.